Hello. In this video, we are going to continue our Rust journey in creating a web server. So in the last video, what we achieved was basically nothing. So the problem we had, it did already pushed. Actually, for fun, let's use VS Code. So what the problem was in here was that this from UTF-8 returned different kind of error, and our stdio result returned a different kind of error, which is defined in stdio. So we should find a way to wrap basically compose error types together. So there's basically two ways to do this. So there's one for boxing errors, which I don't like. So basically storing a box pointer to implementation of the error type. So if you take a look at this one, you see we can do this, but I don't like it. So we can do a more static version, which is implementing from for implementing the from of the error types we have for our error. So let's start doing it. Put this in here. So if I zoom in a bit, I think it's better now. Probably we don't need this sidebar thing. Is it? Command K, Command B, Command B. Okay, I think it's better now. So let's create a new error type. So I have my error type. So it has it's an enum and has parsing error, IO error, which itself is a std IO error. Right? I think these are the variants. Now I should implement the from for std IO error for error. Okay, it's gonna say that I need this implement missing method. So from giving the internal error, I should return I should just say error. How can I say this? Error dot error IO error, passing the internal error. Nice. So we basically implemented this. So it also means that I cannot convert. So what is this kind of error? From UTF-8 error. So I also want impl from std. What was the error again? Sorry, what was the error for from? Okay, std string. Std string from UTF-8 error for error. I want the same method. Okay, VS Code actually seems more stable than my NeoVim config. Weird. So it's going to be string from UTF-8 error, and it's going to return. So it's not anymore IO error, so it's UTF-8 error. It has std string from UTF-8 and UTF-8 error. Let me actually turn off something, cursor animation or something. Yes, we'll remove this. This is really annoying. So now I think my error should be solved in here, the compiler, because I already have this. Oh yes, and I also now my result type is going to my custom result that returns an error. Okay, so push what is saying value moved in here. Okay, cool. So yes, so every time, so let's just take a closer look at what it is saying. Okay. Okay, so it's saying that we use the moved value called buffer, and it's correct, and I'm gonna tell you why. But let me just take one call, sorry. Okay, so the problem is in each iteration of this loop, we are basically clearing this buffer. I'm alright. We shouldn't, basically. So the problem is we are moving this value. Why we are moving this buffer? I don't want. Actually, let's just make this work for now. So on each iteration, we create a new buffer, and no, we cannot actually do that. We need to store the buffer outside, and for each iteration we should so push gets a moved self. Okay, it's moved on line 5. Oh, okay, so 55, which is oh, okay, so that is the problem. I cannot pass this like this. Can I do clone? Yes. Okay, so that was the problem. Okay, so and every time I do buffer clear. Cool. So with this approach, okay, let me close this. So with this approach, we get our lines, right? We know. Okay, so there are problems with this approach as well, because so let me bring up the HTTP spec and we can talk about that right there. HTTP spec, not this spec, Wikipedia is enough. Wiki, close this. So the HTTP request syntax is, the first line is this, carriage return, line feed. Next is this. Next is 0 or more headers, and then when we reach an empty line, we should stop this loop, basically. So yes, so this loop should stop if. So if we reach here, we reach a new line, and we can also check our buffer. If buffer dot ln, the number of elements in the vector. Okay, dot len -1 is the last one. So if that equals a \r, means that into your 8. Can we do this? Remove this takes 1 0 generic function into self. No. So basically, if it's a character return, so if we are in a line feed character and the last character we read was a character return and buffer len equals 2, it means that headers are finished. You know what? Let's go for a more static approach. So I'm going to say first line, which is going to be option of which is going to be an option of type string, which is for now none. We have headers, which is an option of vec. No, it's just a vector of strings. So it's vec. Can we do this? Yes, we can do this. And so headers. So I'm going to do a more static approach. So I'm going to read the first line. So when I reach the new line character, let's do this. So when I reach the new line character, if first line is none, what I'm going to do is first line equals sum of buffer dot what was this, string dot from UTF-8 buffer dot clone expected struct string found this. Oh, okay, we should do this as well. Not this. Okay. Can I design? Okay, this is going to be mutable. So this is the first line. Okay. If otherwise, else. So if first line is none, we are reading first line. So buffer is first line content. And after this, actually, we should buffer clear. After that, everything we read is a header, basically. So we say headers dot push buffer, the same thing we did in here. You know what? Let's just do it in one iteration. So first of all, this is a new headers, and also headers is a hash map of string to string, hash map new. So in here, header line, I'm going to say header line is this. So header line is a string. I'm going to say header line that's split based on a space, not by a space, I'm sorry, on a colon, gives us a split. I think it's an iter. So iter dot next. We call it once, it returns an option for us. So let key. Can we do dot? How we can do that? Okay. Dot okay. Dot sum. Okay, cool. So we got our key. No, we don't have the async functions. Addition is a trait. Okay, so we cannot use this as option. Now we can do the safe thing of the operator for options. I don't know. We should search. Okay, so let's see. Last options. Let's see what we can do with options. We can do match on them, of course. Isn't there any kind of shorthand syntactic sugar something for this? Seems no. So let's just do match on either next. Can't we do just error dot unwrap or default? No, let's just do the match. This is actually one of the nice things about Rust. So either you have a sum of a string, which is our key, which you will just return. Otherwise, you have nothing. We will return an error, and our error is a parsing error. That is basically what we do with you, and we should return this error. Okay, cool. We should do the same block for value of the header. This is the same thing basically. Okay, after we get all these, I'm gonna do headers dot put dot set. Okay, what is the method? Put insert, yes, passing the key and the value. So it says okay, so why? Okay, so these should become strings for some weird reason. Okay, so we insert we should also, so first line is else, we should also check that if buffer .len equals 2 and buffer, or let's say buffer 0 equals \r as char, we should basically break our loop. What's the problem? Expected result. Let's match that base better. Oh, it's because this loop is the last thing we do. So I think it would be more okay. So I can now create my request with values I extracted. So we can create our request method. Method is going to be, let me just, okay, better. So method, okay, so you know what we should do is to now try to, so I would say it would be first line iter is first line dot split. So first line, I know this is so split based on space. This gives us an iter, which is nice. So I would do say method of first line iter dot next dot unwrap dot So I want this to be, so I want the method to have enum. So this type, I want this to have from for yes, okay, from of method. This is actually a nice explanation. I actually think that you should read this, because if you implement from, the Rust type system will automatically implement into for you, which is really nice. If both types have from, so if an A and B have froms of each other, the intos are implicitly implemented. So I want a from of a string to be implemented for the method. So function from s, which is a string, should return myself, and I can basically compare these. S equals get return, or can I do this? Return if. Yes, so return, or I can actually make this even better with match s get, I would say method dot get, method colon get. I want to have same thing for post, same thing for patch, same thing for put, and same thing for option, and same thing for delete. So it's probably not exhaust. Okay, this much I expected to string into string. Or should we do to string? So let me see what's the problem again. It says expected as trunk. This expression has type string, but yeah, oh okay. What we should do is a string from. And it is still saying expected. So how we should do this? From okay, let's just do the if s equals get do method dot get, else if s equals post, I would say method post. For anything else, for now, I'm gonna return. So this from cannot fail, so I'm gonna return the default, let's say get. Okay. So why it's not formatting this? Format document. Yes, better. So I'm gonna do dot into. Should it work? Method from. It says that I don't have that implementation. Maybe I should have pointer to, or a reference to to a string. This should now work. Nice. Okay. What other things we requests have? A URI, which is basically the same thing, except that it is actually simpler for me to just create this, and it says I need a reference. Okay, so I just use two. Did I do into? Yes. Well, maybe two string. I think it's just. What other things you have is version, and I want the same implementation, except that I need the same thing impl from of a reference to stir for version, and I want the same method if s equals http 1.1. How was the version thing? Like this. Okay. Return http, so version http. I don't have this. Okay, so we have this. It's also using into is okay. What else? We need headers. I can pass. What else? The query params. Okay. So we should also parse our query params from our URI. Actually, our URI is not correct in here because URI dirty, because our user has entered something like a slash something name value. So we should handle these. So what I should do is URI dirty.split based on question mark so I should say URI. Okay, you know what I'm going to do is this. URI header. So let URI equals URI header dot next dot match URI. Okay. This match should be in here. Sum of a URI is u. If it's none, it's an error, so we just return error, parsing error. We return this. We return error. This. Okay, so the URI is URI. But we can also handle the query params now. So if I do another next on this, and we do a match, let mute query params equals a wick, not a wick, a hash map, new. It's a hash map of string to string. So if we do next, if we have a sum over query params, we should do a block, but in case of error, in case of none, we should return error parsing error. No, actually no. In case of none, I should do nothing. Okay. So how can we do nothing? I don't know. How we can do nothing? Cross no op switch. It's not switch match. Oh, unit. Yes, that's the way to do it. So in case of none, I would say it's just do nothing. Okay, so in here I would do q.split again, this time based on equal sign, and I will do a for no, because on ampersand I will do a key value pair in this. If it implements the into iter, it would work. So for used in for loops. We can see, so for iterator into iterator. Okay, so I should say kv split based on equal sign. It would give me kv iter, and I will say query params dot insert kv iter dot next. It's simpler to just use these. Let key equals this. Same code basically. Same code. Basically I want the same code in here. Like headers. Only thing is, let's just call this iter. So now I got the key and value, which is nice. Okay, so these need say toString, and these also need toString. So what's the problem? It says expected option of string. Consider adding, oh, okay. Okay, so we got the URI. To string. We got the query params as well. Now, we don't have the path parameters yet. We have the reader, which is our reader. From here, from this point, if you read, you're basically reading the body, which is what we want. Can we add a default value for path params? For now, for path params, which is a hash map, I'm just going to do hash map new, an empty hash map. So this cannot borrow first line is mutable. Okay. First line iter mute. Oh, how many problems we have. So what is the first line? Maybe if we just do string new, I don't need a sum. Okay, I don't need this unwrap anymore. And I don't need this unwrap. Okay, so I need this unwrap, huh? First line iter. Okay, you on next you give me an option. Let's do a match. Yes, let's do sum. So if I get a URI iter, first line iter, if I do next, I would get the URI, right? Let me see the code again. Okay. Okay, I get it. Okay, I get it now. Okay. So I should do a match on these. Okay, it sounds really cool. Can we fix this? Lost, dropped, value. Let me search the error, temporary value. Let's just, is there any way to, cleanly fix this? So unwrap. Next. Okay. I think we did a bit of progress. It's not still working, but I'm really tired right now. So yes, we basically did most of the things. We should just solve this problem we have in here with the query params, and then we are good to go. So, and this is, let's just try this. Let URI later, next, unwrap. I just want to make this work. URI later, next one. Oh, really? Oh, okay. URI iter dot next. Okay. And it's to be mutable. Nice. I also need this mute. Cool and cool. So we have this building, which is nice. So let's do not zig build, cargo build. It builds. I like this. Add this to my and commit. I want to say request parsing. Cool. Nicely done. So this is basically it for now. So we added an HTTP parser for the request. It's not the most optimized one, and I don't know any better way to do it right now. And yes, that is pretty much it. So stay tuned for the more content on this and more Rust, State, Go stuff on the channel. If you like this content, subscribe, like, and follow me. And also you can, comments. You can put comments and mention me on Twitter, GitHub, anywhere. Thank you very much, and goodbye.